They've tried everything to distract themselves, but nothing works. Every time they try to focus on something else, their mind pulls them back to you, and it's exhausting. Their thoughts are a constant whirlwind, and no matter how hard they try to silence the noise, your name always comes to the forefront. They're struggling to hold it together, and it's only getting harder. They've been walking around with a smile on their face, but behind that smile, they're falling apart. Every thought is consumed by you, and they can't seem to find peace in anything else. They're barely functioning, just going through the motions, because every second they're awake, they're thinking about you. You've become the center of their world, and it's tearing them apart. You're the first thought in the morning, and the last thought before they fall asleep. Their mind is constantly racing, replaying moments with you, and it's making it impossible for them to move on. Their emotions are like a storm inside, swirling and crashing because they can't get you out of their head. They're trying to stay strong, but it's becoming impossible to keep their feelings in check. They've been putting up a front, acting like everything is fine, but the truth is, you've been on their mind so much that they're slowly losing control. They don't know how to keep it together anymore. Their mind is a maze, and every path leads back to you. They're lost in thoughts of you, and no matter how hard they try to escape, you're always there, pulling them deeper into the chaos. They've been trying to hold on to their sanity, but it's slipping away because every thought, every memory brings them back to you. They're struggling to cope with how much they miss you. Their thoughts are consumed by you, and it's driving them to the edge. They're barely managing to keep it together because no matter where they go or what they do, you're always on their mind. They've built walls around their heart, but you've managed to break through, and now they're struggling to pick up the pieces. You've taken over their mind, and it's leaving them emotionally wrecked. They've tried to push you out of their mind, but you've become an obsession they can't shake. Every thought revolves around you, and it's tearing them apart from the inside out. They're drowning in memories of you, and no matter how hard they try to come up for air, they're pulled back under. They can't stop thinking about you, and it's slowly breaking them down. They've been trying to pretend they're fine, but their mind is a mess. You've taken over their thoughts, and it's getting harder to keep up the facade of being okay. Every moment without you feels like an eternity. They're struggling to keep it together because you've been on their mind nonstop, and they can't seem to shake the grip you have on their heart. They've been caught in a loop, constantly replaying every conversation, every look, every touch. You've taken over their mind, and it's making it impossible for them to move forward. They're on the verge of breaking down because no matter how hard they try to focus on anything else, you're always there in the back of their mind, pulling at their heartstrings. They've been trying to keep their emotions in check, but it's getting harder with each passing day. Every thought is consumed by you, and they're slowly losing control. Their mind is a battlefield, and they're losing the fight because you're always there, lingering in their thoughts. It's tearing them apart, and they don't know how to make it stop. They've been trying to find a way to move on, but you're always in their mind, haunting them. It's like no matter where they go or what they do, you're always there, and it's driving them crazy. They're barely keeping it together, and it's all because of you. Every thought leads back to you, and it's making it impossible for them to focus on anything else. They've been pretending they're okay, but inside, they're falling apart. You've been on their mind constantly, and it's breaking them down piece by piece. They're trying so hard to move on, but their mind won't let them. Every thought, every memory brings them back to you, and it's tearing them apart from the inside. They've been holding on to the hope that somehow, some way, you'll come back. It's been consuming their thoughts, and they're struggling to keep it all together. They're caught in an endless cycle of thinking about you, and no matter what they do, they can't seem to escape. You've taken over their mind, and it's leaving them emotionally exhausted. Their thoughts are like a broken record, constantly playing memories of you over and over. It's driving them to the edge, and they don't know how to make it stop. Every waking moment is consumed by thoughts of you, and it's starting to unravel the pieces of me that I've carefully held together. I'm trying to stay strong, but every time I close my eyes, you're there, and it's becoming impossible to ignore how much I miss you. They've been struggling in silence, pretending everything's fine, but deep down, they're falling apart because every thought, every beat of their heart seems to be connected to you. No matter how hard they try to distract themselves, your name echoes in their mind like a song they can't stop humming. It's driving them to the edge, and they're desperately trying to find a way to cope with missing you so much. It's not just the quiet moments that you invade, it's every second of their day. They've tried to push you out of their mind, but it's as if you're always there, pulling at their heartstrings, leaving them on the verge of breaking down. They wake up thinking of you, spend the day distracted by memories of you, and fall asleep hoping you'll somehow find your way back into their life. It's been impossible to keep their emotions in check, no matter how hard they've tried. No one knows the depth of what they're feeling because they hide it so well, but inside, they're crumbling. Every thought leads back to you, and it's tearing them apart because they don't know how to let you go. They've tried everything to move on, to forget, but the truth is, you've taken hold of their heart in a way they never expected. Now, every moment without you feels like they're slowly unraveling. Their days are filled with thoughts of what could have been, and their nights are haunted by dreams of you. They're trying to keep it all together, but every passing hour brings them closer to breaking down. They're exhausted from pretending they're okay, when, in reality, their mind is a whirlwind of memories and feelings for you. It's like no matter what they do, you're always there, lingering just beneath the surface. They're holding on by a thread, hoping that somehow, some way, you'll see what they're going through. They can't bear the thought of you slipping away, but they're too afraid to reach out. You've taken over their mind in ways they can't explain. It's not just love, it's an obsession, a need that they can't satisfy because you're not there, and it's destroying them inside. They keep telling themselves that they need to move on, that they need to let go, but their heart isn't listening. Every part of them still belongs to you, and it's tearing them apart. They've tried to numb the pain, tried to fill the void you left, but nothing works. Every thought, every moment of stillness brings them back to you, and they're left struggling to keep it together. It's like you've become a part of their soul, a part they can't detach from, no matter how much they try. It's getting harder to pretend they're okay when, deep down, they're falling apart without you. You are the reason their mind is constantly racing, the reason they can't find peace. They're trying so hard to hold it together, but it's getting more difficult with every passing day. They keep replaying every moment, every conversation, wondering what went wrong and what they could have done differently. It's eating away at them because they can't get you out of their mind. They're barely holding on, struggling to keep their emotions from spilling over. You've been on their mind nonstop, and it's becoming impossible to hide how much they're hurting without you. They're losing sleep, caught in an endless loop of thoughts about you. It's driving them to the edge, and they don't know how much longer they can pretend everything's fine. It's like they're drowning in memories of you, and no matter how hard they try to swim to the surface, they keep sinking deeper. You've been on their mind for so long that they're losing control. Every part of them aches for you, but they're too scared to reach out, too scared to tell you how much they're falling apart without you. So they keep it inside, struggling to keep it together. They wish they could forget, wish they could move on, but it's impossible when every thought is consumed by you. They're falling apart inside, and they don't know how to fix it. They're trying to hold it together, trying to pretend that they're okay. But the truth is, they're barely making it through each day. You're all they think about, and it's tearing them apart. You've become a constant in their mind, a presence they can't shake. They're struggling to keep it together because they don't know how to live without you anymore. Their mind is a battlefield, and you're the reason they're losing the fight. They can't get you out of their head, and it's driving them to the brink of an emotional breakdown.